Peace. Garden of Friends. So, last couple of days, I just got this idea about how much the level of gratitude that I have for the friends and the people in my life and whatever. And I enjoy gardening. And I'm kind of curious if you guys want to have a little bit of an experiment with me. I don't know if you guys have heard of, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Masaru Emoto. He does the water experiments where where he'll talk to water and freeze it, and then he'll look at it under a microscope, and the effects of vibration and um, uh, how it affects the crystal formations of water positively and negatively. But so I did some gardening, and anyway, I'll give you like this is the it's bin day, but this is my house, number 45, 9. But so I did some gardening, and what I did was um, I made some little garden placards, and I don't think I can flip my phone. Like, can I do that? I want to flip it around and take you guys on a little walk. Let's see if I can do this. Nope, that didn't do it. I'm gonna just have to keep spinning my phone. But hanger. I repotted those little pine trees. When I bought those were like those little Charlie Brown, um, like little Christmas trees. They were small. They were small. They were tiny. Um, but this is the second time I've repotted them, and since 2016. And I mean, they were tiny. They were only about a foot tall, and as you can see, um, they're I don't know 2 3 feet tall now. Um, and I don't consider myself to have what you would call a green thumb. When I garden, it's something I feel very passionately about, and I love the smell of dirt on my hands. My hands are still kind of, look at that, all calloused and still like perma dirt all over my hands. It's fucking great. Uh, anyway, so I made these placards at work the other day, going back to Masaru Emoto. Um, and please, in advance, my apologies if I've forgotten anyone. Um, and I ran out of plaques too, so I had to like double up. Um, I made these little plaques. So let's just get started. So this hibiscus here I've had for 4 years, and I just brought it out 2 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago, it was lush and it dropped all its leaves. It was naked, and then like the shock of going from in the house to outside. It dropped all its leaves, but as you can see, it's really taking off. So this is where we're going with this. If you can see, I did the little placard, and I'll get it nice and close. Piscean Soul, somebody I know on YouTube. This is, for all intent and purpose, that's your hibiscus. And if you here, so check this out, guys. What I would invite you guys to do now, when I say I get passionate about my gardening, um, I project a lot of love. Literally, I project a lot of love into. I focus on my friends, on things that I love. I'm in a very positive, uplifting state of mind as I'm touching the plants, as I'm potting them, replanting them, etc., etc. And I project that energy into the plants. And what I would invite you guys to do, and I'll even give you my address. So you might want to pause, go grab a pen and a piece of paper, and number 45, Blackberry Place in Kittery, Maine, Kittery, Kittery, Maine, MAINE 03904 is the zip code. So you type that stuff in on Google Earth and you'll see my house from Google Earth, all right? And don't judge, because that picture is the picture that they have stored on Google Earth is well before any of the gardens or the trees or any of that stuff. So, but this is so that you can focus your energy and your intent on your plant, Piscean Soul. And here we go. I hope I can get this. Monica. I am Monica. Hi, Monica. This is yours, my friend. This is your plant. I'm going to just try to do this as best as I can. Sapphire Blue, L for Self. My rather talented musical friend, Mr. Benny. Hi, John. Andy, this is yours. It's virtually identical to Monica's, but do you notice what we got going on there? We got zinnias. And you mentioned zinnias, and you mentioned enjoying white. So I got some white petunias in there. And these were just planted in the last 2 days. So there's going to be a fair amount of growth going, you guys. It was fun, man. I had a good time. And I'm going to zoom in. Oh, here we go. Can you hear my knees cracking? It's brutal. I'll show you this one. This is the next placard. Okay, Mary Nugent, Brenda, and Lorna. This is your garden. This is your garden. So if you ever want to send some positive vibes, this is how we're gonna do this. We're gonna play telepathy. And so this is the garden. That right there in the center, the green one right here, that's hydrangea. This one right here, oh my God, I'm gonna forget the name of this one. This one's kind of already passed. This one had a rough winter. It's a perennial. Oh my goodness, what was the name of it? Anyway, it stopped producing. But we have a lovely, well-watered rose bush and some coreopsis and tons of petunias. And this is interesting. Now that sunflower there I transplanted, but this is a wild strawberry. The birds planted that in their poop. That's a wild strawberry, so we're gonna see where that goes. And here we go. So a friend of mine, Roots, anyway, you guys all know each other, more or less. This is for Frankie and Charlie. This is yours. Hi, Charlie. This is your plant across the pond in Maine, USA, all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. And Charlie and Frankie, both of yours are identical. They're identical. They're in the same kind of pot and the same kind of flowers, but they're each individual. So these are yours, and these are in the United States. And I think to many of us, we'll all recognize the nickname. That's for our friend MJ. I had so much fun, you guys, the last couple of days, man. It was brutally hot yesterday, but it was one of those days where you just get like totally gross and sweaty, and it's awesome. You see these? Yeah, these are sunflowers. These are mammoth Russian sunflowers, right? I didn't label these, but so can you see like their level of growth so far? These are mammoth Russian sunflowers. These will reach, and I mean it. They will reach the roof line of my house and maybe even surpass it. And the flower buds on there will be like the size of a large dinner plate, and those reseeded themselves. That's exactly where they were last year. They grew, they dried out, they dropped their seeds, and then I removed the roots and the stumps, threw that away, and this is all from their own regrowth. Um, yeah, I got barn swallows. They're all over the yard. It's great. Um, it's a mobile home community. If you zoom out on Google Earth, you'll see how close I am to the ocean. As a crow flies, it's only about a mile and a half away, but it takes, because it's all swervy curvy, it takes me probably about 10 minutes to get to the beach. All right, guys, my guy friends, this is your little patch. All these green, these are purple, deep purple iris, coreopsis, petunias, zinnia, but Mark Pilarczyk, Scott Shugarts, Safawi Awi, and Emoji King, you guys, this is your spot. And this particular rose bush is brand new. This one I just got this season. It's been in the dirt. It's been in the ground. Probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but it's already popping. It's already popping. I deadheaded, and I cut off all the stragglers and like where it was getting kind of leggy. But these are already popping. These are already going. There's petunias, but there's other stuff. It was a wild mix. They called them drop and go. It was a little bit of everything. But Mark, Safawi, Emoji King, and Scott, this is your section if you choose to send some energy in this direction. And we're going to see how our energy maybe can influence the environment a little bit. And here we go. Now check this out too. This was an experiment. Anybody want to take a guess what these tall, lanky things are? Those are onions from my my produce drawer in my refrigerator. There were 2 rotten onions, nasty. Like I was like, oh, and I went in to pick them up, and they're all squishy, right? And I'm like, well, let's just see, a little experiment. And so I planted 2 rotten onions, and if you look, there's actually 6 stems, and the ground is starting to bulge. So there's numerous onions planted from 2 rotten onions, and look what's happening. It's amazing. It's amazing. There's my tomatoes. And this right here where you don't see any growth, those are carrots. I did carrots last year, and they came. You know, carrots are ugly. The carrots that you get in the store, they're all perfect and whatever, but real natural carrots, they are weird looking, man. They are funky looking. But carrots, tomatoes, I have some. I'm gonna do potatoes too. I didn't have much luck last year with eggplant and stuff like that, and all the other stuff I did for some reason. It just didn't thrive. Cucumbers too. They rotted right on the vine. But we'll see what happens. And I've got potatoes. I bought some rotten potatoes yesterday. They were on the clearance rack at the grocery store, and I got a whole bag of potatoes, like a 10-pound bag of potatoes, for 99 cents, because they were all like, they were getting the eyes on them and whatever. And I did those 2 hangers yesterday. I got my little bird bath right there, and you see that birdhouse right there? I plant this shed. It needs a paint job, and we'll get around to it. I was enjoying the painting or the planting too much. But that birdhouse right there that you see was in that shed when I bought this house. It was all torn up and broken, whatever. So I took it apart, rebuilt it, and I hung it on my shed. And for like the first 3 years living here, nothing, no birds, no nothing. I had hornets one year, whatever, cleaned them out. But for the last 2 years, I've had the same family of barn swallows, and it's been glorious having them in the yard. Um, they eat a lot of bugs. It's a lot of fun. But last, certainly not least, this here. I don't know if we can get a good shot of this. Um, there's two more placards in there, and I'll come in close so you can read. Marianne and Mark, Maz, and Sonic the Prod God. And this is yours, you guys. This is for you. And I hope you enjoy that. I know I'm going to enjoy my garden this year. For what it's worth, as I mentioned, I live in a mobile home community, a seaside mobile home community. Um, but this is kind of the, my little shed and 2-bedroom mobile home. Yep, the houses are right up on each other, but this is my own little slice of heaven. You should have seen me out here. I was out here yesterday, and I was just having a great time, breaking a sweat, getting my hands in the dirt. And I wanted to include you, that as much as we've had conversations, personal conversations through chat or YouTube, or even just messages on a video share. That I value my friendships, and very much so. And I value my friendships, and I'm going to nurture my garden, I hope, at least with the same amount of enthusiasm and love and compassion that I have for my human relationships. I'm going to nurture my garden with that same level of energy. And that being said, I don't know what I'm going to do today. And I wanted to do this because, as you can see, it's a very cloudy day, and they were calling for thunderstorms and showers and stuff like that today. So I wanted to make this video before it started pouring out, and it already sprinkled a little bit, but yeah, I had so much fun putting all that stuff together. And you guys, if you want a garden, there is a lot to be said for what they call deadheading. For example, on this fuchsia, the more, like, you see that it's a dead one, pull that shit off. Basically, the premise is, what deadheading does is, once all the buds have died, basically it's telling the plant, okay, you've produced, now you can die or go dormant. So if you deadhead, you're actually telling the plant, nope, you're not done yet. Nope, you're not done yet. So it keeps producing. So I just keep popping off all the ones that have already produced and are getting all kind of wilty. And my flowers will bloom all summer long as I continue to deadhead them. That might sound like a lot of work to some people. I find it very cathartic and very meditative, and it's like time well spent. I'm in the zone, and much the same that, being in the zone with my dog Jake, who I don't have anymore, and I miss him terribly, but I can still project all that love that I had for him and for my friends into my garden. And you are welcome to project love and nurturance and thriving. Ooh, that was the other thing too, you guys. So, along with Masaru Emoto's experiment, he would label water. He'd put a label, like a piece of, even something as silly as a piece of paper tape with the word on it: love, nurturance, kindness, compassion, whatever. So, those little placards that you saw on the ground, if you want to reach out, so the little placards, they're blank on the back, right? I don't know if you can see that. They're blank, right? So if you have a particular word, I'll take a pencil or a pen or a marker or something, and I'll write your words on the back of the placards. And it'll be our own little nature experiment. I don't know. Where do these ideas come from? But this is my life. Welcome. I'm going to go have some more coffee. I'm going to smoke a cigarette. I'm going to enjoy my yard before it starts raining. And I hope you enjoyed that little walk. Peace that surpasses all understanding. I love you guys very much. And as I nurture my plants, I hope you feel nurtured. And my plants with your labels on them. And again, hey, Frankie and Charlie, I hope you enjoy your plants across the pond. Love you guys. I'm out.